This Sunday marks 21 years since the September 11th attacks.
On that day, planes crashed into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. In all, nearly 3,000 people were killed. It was the worst terror attack ever on U.S. soil. Today, the site in Lower Manhattan has been rebuilt to honor the victims of the attacks and to pay tribute to all the first responders.
Joining us now is Alice Greenwald. She is the president and CEO of the National September 11th Memorial and Museum. Thank you so much, Alice, for being with us. You know, in many ways, it's hard to believe that it's been 21 years. Tell us, though, how does the 9/11 Memorial Museum plan to mark 21 years since the attacks?
First of all, thank you for having me. And, we will observe the anniversary of 9/11 as we do every year by reading the names of nearly 3,000 victims. They're read by family members. It's a very emotional experience. It takes about 4.5 hours to go through because there are 2,983 names to be read. And one of the things I've noticed, speaking of the passage of time, is that in recent years, a number of our family readers are younger people who are remembering family members, loved ones they never had a chance to meet. And that really is a sign of the shift of generations. So grandchildren who are now old enough to stand at a podium and remember their grandfather or their grandmother and speak words of love, it reminds us that remembrance has no expiration date, and a new generation takes on the mantle of responsibility of never forgetting.
And it is a responsibility. You know, I want to ask you this. Obviously, this was a tragedy that impacted so many people in New York, but it was a tragedy that was felt all around the world. So even if there are people who are not in New York for this anniversary, is there a way for them to still join you in commemorating that day?
There absolutely is. And one thing we are doing for the second year in a row is an initiative called Remember the Sky. Now, if you were alive and in the United States on 9/11, 21 years ago, you remember the clarity of that beautiful blue sky that morning. It was just stunning. And what we are asking people to do is take their cameras, their phones, look up at the sky, no matter where you are, no matter what the weather, and snap a photo of that blue sky or whatever color it is, and post it to Instagram with the tag at 9/11 Memorial and the hashtag Remember the Sky or hashtag Never Forget 9/11. And the idea being that there will be this collective gesture of remembering by looking up at an active remembrance gesture. So we're excited about this. Last year we had a lot of participation, and it means that you take a moment out of your day to stop, to look heavenward, to make a memory of your moment. And, for those who remember the day, it connects you to the past. For those too young to remember what it was like on 9/11, it's a way of us connecting them to the history.
Yeah, let me ask you a bit more about that, Alice, because so many of us do have such sharp and vivid memories of that day. But as you point out, even with the reading of the names, right, there are younger people who don't have their own memories of their own loved ones who were killed. So how do you educate the millions of people who don't have any living memory of 9/11?
Well, yes, this is actually a priority for this institution. It's estimated that upwards of 100 million people have been born in the United States since 2001. And these are people in college. These are people starting careers in law enforcement and the military and intelligence agencies who have no real understanding of how the organizations they're joining in their careers were profoundly changed by this event in history. So we see this as a goal to educate the next generation. And today, we are actually launching this year's program of Anniversary in the Schools, which we've done for the past 7 years, which teachers, they just register online. It's a free downloadable experience. It's a webinar video. You go to 911memorial.org/webinar, and you get a 35-minute film that includes the personal stories of 4 people who lived through 9/11. One is a survivor of the South Tower. One is a Port Authority policeman who had a canine partner killed in the attacks. And he himself has a remarkable survival story. He survived the collapse of Tower One, a FDNY officer who participated in the recovery, and the daughter of a firefighter who sadly died not on 9/11, but years later from post 9/11 related illness. So these are personal stories. And today, actually all day, members of our team, our education team, are involved in a live chat with students from all over the world who, after watching this video, call in, write in, and enter this chat, and they get immediate answers to their questions. So whatever is provoked gets an answer immediately.
And it's so important to keep that conversation going. Alice Greenwald, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And we will have full coverage of the ceremonies remembering 9/11 throughout the day on Sunday. You can stream it at CBS New York.